we are back from America's List. It was a long month. Now it's time to go back to work a little bit. Actually, we're going to work before we go to work. We've got like a week before we start our next show for the show on TV. So content's going to be a little bit slow here for a little bit. However, today though, we've got a little bit more work to do on the OG.
Yeah, we just got back yesterday, and we don't have time to sit around and not work.
Yeah,
it is what it is. This shop is terrible. We got to clean everything up. We've got to figure out our next move with this deal.
So America's List, without giving you guys too much detail, a bunch of spoiler alerts. Man, it started off amazing for us. Like, car did well. It was fast. We did really well.
Then we went downhill with the motor.
Fast forward to about halfway through.
The motor is not happy. The motor being upset caused us to break a lot of Pro Chargers.
Yes.
And we're not going to show y'all too much, but we can show y'all what happened on the very last pass that we made while we was down there. So we kept it together.
Man, dude, it was
We kept
rough.
it together. It was rough. We kept the thing together. We had to, at one point, helicoil the rocker stands. It was pulling them out. There's no compression in this motor, which is the reason it was unable to pull the 136 anymore.
The 136 was just dragging it down.
136 was dragging. So basically, I don't know what Pro Charger says, but I think it's somewhere between 7 and 1,000 horsepower on nuts only
Something
to pull a 136. And I'm guessing that this thing dropped down below that. What happened was, before we left, we had all the problems. We kicked the rod out. We didn't have any rings. So whenever we washed the bearings, we washed the rings also in this deal. So as we washed the rings, they weren't able to set in, and the bores either, and all the cylinders. So there at the last, we were changing the oil every other pass, and it was milking. It's just all the methanol is going by the rings. It was milking so bad that we run 2.5 gallons of oil in this motor. Mm-hmm. We were pulling 5 gallons out after 2 passes.
2 passes.
2 passes, we're pulling 5 gallons out, so it is milking 2.5 gallons. What's he doing?
Finding the right tools so whenever Dalton gets here, we can get straight to it.
Oh yeah, no. Start getting the drive shaft out of it. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do to hold this deal together any longer than what we did.
Yep.
So at some point, whenever we broke the 136, we borrowed a 121. We put the 121 on it, which doesn't take as much horsepower to turn, obviously. It's smaller. And for 2 passes, it was happy. And then...
And then upset. Tragedy struck.
And then it got upset again, and eventually it really looks like we kicked a rod on the last pass.
So on the last pass, there was a lot of things that happened. Initially, all we seen was this. This hole doesn't go there.
Total destruction on this Pro Charger that we now owe Ryan for.
So we owe Ryan a blower.
And look at the flash fire that was right here. So whenever I pulled off to the side, about 60 foot out is whenever it did all this. I pull over to the side because I thought the motor just came apart. I seen the flash. Parts went through the hood of the car. It was bad. What are you going to do? There's nothing else to say. We've always been the type of people who, no matter what it is, we've always had way more engine than we've had chassis. Mm-hmm. The chassis on this deal,
amazing. DMC
it was amazing.
Knocked it out of the park.
DMC killed it on this deal. When we made changes to this car out there, it took them. Yep. And the car did everything that we asked it to do, and it just seemed like the chassis was begging for more power. And at that point, we couldn't give it anymore. And kicking the rod may have been my fault, because tuning-wise, I did whatever I had to do. I see a whole bunch of stuff out there about how we don't tune our own cars and all that, and nobody's touched this laptop but me.
Right.
I added 3 degrees of timing to the whole map. When you're down on power and it's not happy, and after that, man, hey, it picked up a little bit. It just, I think it definitely did not prolong the longevity of what we was already trying to keep together.
Yep.
But at some point, I almost would have rather stopped the bleeding and it came apart
sooner than it did.
Sooner than what it did.
Man, it was just kind of.
It was slow.
Like after you make a pass and it didn't come apart, it was like.
Yeah. Well, let's get it ready for the next one. You know, and it is what it is. It sucks whenever you're in that position and there's nothing that you can do about it.
Yep.
It's not like we could have pulled the motor out and freshened it up. We couldn't. I mean, with as much as what we were racing.
I mean, at the last, we had to race every day because we got delayed so long for rain. So there were no days off.
We didn't have no
towards
days
the
off.
end. And then even before the rain, we had like 2, maybe 3 days off.
Oh, 2 days a week.
Yeah. And we only got 1 weekend before the rain came. So
yeah,
it, you know, it is what it is, basically.
It's another one of those deals that we showed up and we were like, hell yeah, I know this thing's going to be badass. We're ready. And the motor was not.
No.
But it sucks because that's not usually, I can't really say that. We blew up a lot of motors in MPK.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not too upset.
Oh, I
about
got to bring up
blowing this one
bullshit.
That's why I'm not too upset about this one. They're like, did it kick a rod? Man, it might have.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Hey, so we shoved this thing in the trailer. This is how bad it was. We looked at all of this. We seen everything that we had messed up. This right here was definitely yelling at me after it busted this off.
That wheel just cut it smooth
And look
off.
at this right here. It's the flash fire that came out was just, everything was on fire.
The inlet of the blower looks the same.
Yeah.
It was a big flash.
It was. I synced it. Sucks because we were winning that race. We were out on them.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We pushed this thing over to the trailer and literally we shoved this thing in the trailer and
Didn't even try to start it.
didn't even roll it over.
No.
Like I did not want to hurt anything else further. So we're gonna get this thing out. We're gonna figure out what happened to it, and then we're gonna come up with a plan. The car is going to go back to DMC. We're going to do a couple of things. We changed more blowers than what we thought we were going to, and some of this stuff needs to change. I do not like every time we change this blower, the fuel cell has to come off. That's, nah, we're not going to do that. There's no good way to tie this thing down in the trailer. You know, just a couple little things like that we're not going to be racing this thing for a little bit, and we have a little bit of time.
Right.
Now it is time to fast forward and get the MPK car ready.
Man, Ryan's guy made a post today.
Ryan who?
Ryan.
RK?
No. Ryan Martin.
Oh, yeah.
There's only 61 days until the first MPK race.
61 days. Wow.
Yeah.
So motor's going to come out. Transmission is pretty upset also, so it has to go back to Rossler. We was having some issues with that. Our trans cooler would no longer, when we blew up the converter here before we left, we believe, it is of our belief that we had run some stuff through the transmission.
There's some passages plugged up somewhere.
There's something plugged up somewhere. We could not cool the transmission the whole time we were gone. So
Just fans.
just fans, the only
Only
way.
fans.
We took blowers and tried to. What did he laugh about the OnlyFans?
Yeah. You got an OnlyFans?
No.
Better watch
You
out.
look at OnlyFans?
No. Cost money.
You got a subscription.
He said it costs money.
He looks at that free stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, we took airlines, we changed all the hoses, we did everything that we could do without pulling the transmission apart because we're not transmission people, and
No.
Rossler would not want us to pull that deal
He
apart.
would be upset.
He would, and I don't blame him.
Like, he told us to
because
pull it
would
apart.
It would not go back together.
Right.
So
Then he'd be more upset.
yes. So, yeah, fans is all we did.
Yep.
And sometimes we would race 3 to 4 times a night.
Yeah.
With just fans on that deal.
Yeah.
But luckily at night it was cold. It seemed to do okay. We changed all the lines out. We blew through the lines. The restriction was not in the lines.
Nope.
We even borrowed a trans cooler from somebody else because we thought ours might be messed up. Oh, it did not work on ours, but then it went back and worked on theirs. There's something in here that has clogged up the passageway that is not allowing us to circulate the fluid through. And I'm not real sure, but that can't be that good on a pass either. but we just ran it.
Yeah, I mean, we had to.
We just ran it. We didn't have another transmission.
No.
So that will also go to Rossler. Actually, on your way up to Boston, you will probably swing that by Rossler.
I will swing by Girard,
and
Ohio.
pick up the transmission for the next build that we're doing.
Yes.
That is going to be a Rossler.
Yes, always a Rossler.
Always a Rossler. So, I'm still thinking about what we're going to do on this deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we can be real and say this is a 23-degree conventional headed big block.
Yes.
Is it ever going to run like we want it to run?
No.
Might not. It might not. I do believe that it'll run teens. I do believe that it'll probably run O's, but maybe not with a 136. It may have to have that smaller blower to be happy.
Yeah.
Ever since we started this deal, the data was unhappy, and I've asked people, why does this data look like this? You'd have to go in and smooth it to even get to something that you could read, and it's just been upset. So we think from the get-go it was that cap just come off that. What you doing back there?
Taking the dry cap out?
Did you just drop that cap?
What cap? The little dude that goes.
Yeah, the cap.
I mean, is there two of them?
Yes.
Yes, I dropped it.
Okay. There's pins inside
No,
those.
he dropped the cap off the yoke. He dropped the not a round one, right?
The two.
Is it round?
Yeah, it's half. It's like a.
Oh, okay.
It's the strap.
Yeah, it's just a strap.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like,
So
I ain't upset about it. It is what it is. The car is amazing. Everything that we did to this deal, I just not sure about this motor. Either that or we should have put, even though we didn't really have any option, it should have been a bigger deal to put rings in it. And we should have put a 121 on it. But at that point, if you put a 121 on this deal, there's only so fast that we're going to go. And we all know, let's just say you're trying to run 50s out there. You need a 30 tune-up to run 50s.
by the time you strap it down with the traction control.
Yep. And by the time it actually has higher wheel speed on a street that is not hooking, I mean, lots of stuff. The G meter's lower. You just slow down. You're not going to go run a 420 at the, I just said 420. I don't know why 420 came to my head. If you go run a 420 at the track, you're not going to take that tune up and go run a 420 on the street. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. So we needed faster than the 426 pass that we had to run what we needed to run on that street to run with those guys.
There were some guys going really fast.
There were some people going really fast out there.
We were not one of them.
Simon,
What's up?
tired?
No, not that much.
Yeah. Right on.
But a little bit.
but just a little.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all's gonna pull the transmission out, and then we're gonna check that. You want to see all this?
So-
See all this damage.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's kind of where we're at. We're a little bit up in the air about what the plans are for this thing, but like you said, we do have some time to figure it out. In the meantime, while we're thinking about it, it's going to Boston. Gonna have them update a few things that after racing the car for a little bit, we want something different. So
We got a few things that we got to work out on this deal.
Oh yeah, we broke a shock also.
We broke a shock. This right here is
That was like
not,
first day.
This is not supposed to come out, and Chris Bell is not going to be happy with us. This,
No.
this was like, hey, so this right here right now is
Literally-
just doing whatever it wants to do.
Yeah, can you lift up on it right now?
On the tire?
Yeah.
With Aiden underneath the car?
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh yep.
Look at that.
Yep.
So basically, whenever you hit a bump, this just does whatever it wants to do.
Yep.
So
We got to it was like the second race night. We got there and there was oil all over the car. We were like, what the hell?
and then boom, this comes out, and there should be. Look, this is like a dipstick now, and there is nothing on it anymore because there's no oil inside this shock. I'll bet it was getting hot. And at this point, Chris is going to yell at me because he's going to say that now with no lube inside there, the shaft going in
burnt
and
it
out
up.
has.
I bet it's black.
Yeah, I bet it is too.
Yep.
Sorry, Chris.
Hey man, we had to race.
Yeah, we had to do something. So we shoved this little guy in there and we changed it out every once in a while. But then eventually we didn't need to change it out anymore because it didn't get wet.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hey, it was a long,
Hey, man, we had to
drawn
race.
out mess.
It wasn't like we'd get there and go, oh,
But
hey
this is
guys,
all-
we broke a shock.
Yeah, but this is all stuff that you're not going to see on TV either.
Yeah.
You know, because we're not the guys who go, oh God, man, guys, I broke a shock. I can't race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We was going to race it.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
Sometimes you got to race a motherfucker, man.
That's right. So,
My eye is not black.
hey,
That's just the way I look. If you guys think that Sean missed an opportunity to make fun of me for getting my ass whipped,
oh yeah, no, I do.
you seriously underestimate
Our level of friendship.
Yep.
Because if that were the case, we would have definitely touched on it at some point.
100%. No, I'd still be laughing at you.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it'd be like that time you got beat up down in Texas. That's what I'd say, you know? But that's just the way his eyes are whenever he hasn't had no sleep.
Yep.
And we had not had a lot of sleep at all on
Yeah.
these.
Well, we were late getting there, and then we were out late testing that
Why
night.
were we late getting there? Because we blew this deal up.
That deal. So, yeah, anyways, you know, this is where we're at. As we figure out what we're going to do with the car, we will let y'all know. So, in the meantime, we're going to get all of our broken shit out of the way, out of this nice chassis.
God dang. Have I mentioned, though, how badass this chassis is?
Dude, okay, so there were...
This car just, it just leaves, man.
There were 25 of the baddest street racers in the country on our location for a month. And most of those 25 people had at least 2 crew guys, and every single one of them come over to look at this chassis, and none of them had a bad word to say about it.
There was
And
a few guys that came over multiple times
Oh, yeah.
to look at it.
Jason Cantu came and looked at this thing no less than 5 times. That's no lie.
Dave's guy, too.
Travis, Dave's guy, he come over.
Travis Cannon, man. Hey, he's a guy that,
He works on pro mods, like real pro mods.
dude, hey, I didn't realize he was as smart as what he is.
Yeah.
And I like him.
Yeah.
So there's that. Like, look, I've said it in the past, man. I ain't got no more room for friends.
Yeah.
Like, I have all the friends I could possibly deal with.
Yep.
Man, I'm going to make a little bit more room for him.
Yeah, no, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. He was a big help to me while we were having the issues with the blower and having to change them. Like, there were a couple of times where it came down to minutes of having to be ready for the race, and him and Let's Jr. and Javi, they were all there to help me get this thing going, and that's
That's
greatly
what the 405
appreciated.
does whenever we're out of town.
For sure,
You know, they
for
come
sure.
together. You
Yeah.
know, I may not be over turning wrenches on somebody else's car, but I'm going to loan them you.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
And you know, well, I guess we can't really touch on that, but
yeah.
you know,
Yep. Anyways, it was a good time. I'm glad we went down there. It was some killer racing. It's going to be amazing on TV, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, that's about all we can really say about it. Other than here's the car. It's busted up. We ain't really ruined anything else.
the car itself is still in amazing shape.
Yeah, it's just needs to be painted, which it needed to be painted before we left.
Yeah, it did. Man, dude, we beat the shit out of this thing, though.
We did.
Like, the jack kept falling off the wall and hitting the front end. The driver door's got some places on it. I don't know where they came from. It doesn't hit anything.
I don't either. The car twisted in the trailer at one point and caught the trailer over here. Dad's gonna like this deal.
Yeah, those are always cool. Every car has one of those.
Every night, it dudes so much out there that the whole car was just wet all the time.
Yes.
Get this out of his way.
Yep. So we'll get all this stuff apart. If we find anything interesting that's broke that we didn't notice before or touch on, we'll show you here. But that's where we are. We'll get this thing out. See where we go next.
We do have some amazing stuff coming up, and either way you look at it, man, we're gonna show a lot of this stuff that we're about to do.
Who's Lane Frost hat?
That's Aiden's.
Huh?
Aiden's a Lane Frost dude.
Whatever.
What? Hey, you got the hat.
Hey, Lane Frost is cool
Own
as
it.
fuck, man.
Yeah, own it. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get the hat and then go whatever. You know, like we're making fun of you.
I'm gonna buy him a Lane Frost cowboy hat for his birthday.
Which is coming up.
16, man.
No, I'm gonna take him to get his driver's license. Aaron goes, I got some stuff to do. I'm not gonna be able to take Aiden to get his driving test. I said, you wasn't gonna take him anyways. Ain't nobody taking my 16-year-old boy to get his driver's license except me.
Yep.
That way I could be the first person to laugh at him if he fails, or I could be the first person to congratulate him whenever he gets it.
Yep. Yeah.
Dalton, you think he's gonna fail?
No.
Nah.
He's too smart,
There's a
huh?
lot of dummies out there who got
You
their
gotta be
license.
done.
Oh man, Dalton has his license.
Yep. Yep. So, well, shit. We've prolonged pulling this thing apart.
I know. I just don't want to get started.
I know. But here we go.
But look at that though.
Oh yeah, that thing's still sitting here.
Yeah, no transmission. in it.
Just looking all cool.
Since Monkey blew it up.
You know.
All right, what's up, guys? I've made it up here to the Boston area, or I don't know. There are a few of you that got mad last time we said we were in Boston, because we're not actually in Boston. I'm in the Bridgewater / Halifax area where DMC is actually located. Decided to bring my Chevy on this trip, the one that we lowered and put the 22s on and all that stuff. This is the first time I've really pulled anything heavy with the truck since we got it done. I pulled shop truck around a few times, but you know, that open trailer and shop truck, that ain't a whole lot. I weigh 26,000 pounds rolling down the interstate here, unless that's illegal, and then I'm much less than that. So anyways, I'm impressed. The truck did really well. You know, it's a 08, but it doesn't have a ton of miles on it. It's only got like I don't know, right at 140,000 miles on it. So it's not like it's wore out or anything like that. But I am impressed. It did really good. So maybe strange to say. Most of you will probably say I'm full of it. I feel like the cold air intake that I swapped out here on the last video picked it up. It could be me just wishful thinking or whatever, but man, I honestly feel like I can tell a noticeable difference in the power of the truck. There may not be, but I've put a bunch of miles on this truck and I feel like it picked up something. So there's that. What else? I think that's about it. I just want to kind of give you guys an update. It took me a couple days to get up here. I had to stop in Girard, Ohio, and drop off one of our transmissions to Rossler, and then pick up a transmission for the next project that we got coming up here. So, and then the weather's crappy. It's cold. The roads are wet, and I'm just not trying to crash this thing. So, I've been taking my time, not driving super late. So it took me a couple days to get up here. I'm about 5 miles or 20 minutes because it takes forever to get around anywhere up here from DMC. So once I get there, I'll get the car unloaded and start rolling again and kind of let you guys know where we're at, what's getting done, and where we go from here. So stick around. All right, so made it up here to DMC. Man, the roads up here just did a number on my truck. Had this thing washed before I left OKC, and it's filthy, but it is winter and it has been snowing everywhere I've been, so I guess it's to be expected. The car's inside here. Get one last look at it before they make their changes so we can get ready to race this thing whenever the time comes next. I don't know, it really won't look different, so, but we'll know stuff's different. So they were pleased with us that we didn't tear it up too bad, because me and Sean we're hard on stuff, but we really did take care of this thing because we're so proud of the car and how nice it is. So we did keep it in pretty good shape. So this is it. We gave them plenty of time to work on this thing, at least a couple weeks before we come back and get it. It's kind of the running joke, but anyways, that's where we are. So I am going to put this camera up. I'm gonna hit the road and make this 24-hour drive back home. So once we get home, we will I don't know, start some projects. I see a bunch of y'all in the comments that are mad because we're not putting out any content, but truth be told, we haven't been home. So it's hard to do stuff when we're on the road, as you guys know. So stick with us. I promise you the content's coming. It could just be slow for a little bit. We got a lot of stuff going on with the show, and that doesn't allow us to produce the content when the other cameras are here. So be patient. I promise the content's coming. So stick around. I'll end this video on the way home. If I see something cool, we never know where I'll stop. I'm going to drag the trailer home, might find something to buy on the way home. But I don't know, stick around and I'll let you know what's going on as I make my drive home in this next 24 hours. This motherfucker is holding up traffic so I can get on the interstate. Right on, man. That's badass. Oh, put that on the video, please. Do it, do it. All right, guys, so I've made it home. 25 hours there, 25 hours back. On the way home, I actually did stop in Knoxville, Tennessee to visit our friends over at Excess Power. I'd never actually been there, but I got to stop there, check out their facility, and I picked up some stuff for a couple of new projects that we got coming up here. I also stopped in Nashville at Sandman Designs. That place was pretty amazing. That guy's got it going on there. All kinds of cool CNC machines and just different projects that he's got going on there. All kinds of custom stuff. Like if you're into, I don't know, like I like watching CNC machine run. I could stand there all day and watch those things run. So it was pretty cool to stop there. I picked up some donk jewelry for the race donk that we're building. And then I also picked myself up something that I can't wait to show y'all. A lot of you may not care about that because it may not be your thing, but man, I can't wait to show y'all. They're cool. So anyways, the only reason really that this video is still going is I figured I would be stopped alongside the road here with blown out front tires and have to call Sean to come get me or bring me some tires or pick the trailer up and leave the truck or something. So on the way up there, I stopped in Indy the first night to sleep. I got out, was looking over the truck and noticed the front tires were not wearing really great. I don't have to stop a lot with this truck to check that stuff out because I've got 90 gallons of fuel at all times pretty much. So pretty much I can drive for 11 to 12 hours before I have to stop. So I don't get to look the truck over like I'd like. Anyways, left Indy, kept stopping along the way now that I knew there was an issue, and sure enough, tires were getting worse. Made it to Boston, no big deal. Tires still getting worse. Made the trip home, and honestly, like, I figured it was coming at any time. I slowed down to 75 or so, and I don't know. They made it home, and here's why I didn't really think that they would. So you can see there, like the rest of the tread's fine, but the outer edge here. So what happened is when we lowered this truck, I felt like I lowered the front too much. But anyways, we lowered it, took it, had it aligned, and then I drove it. Well, I didn't like the way it set. Wanted it more level, so I actually dropped the back some more and raised the front up a little bit. I raised the front up an inch actually, and then I never had it aligned again, so that's what's causing that. It's not the Nitto tires that we normally use. They were out of the size that I wanted whenever I got these tires, so I had to get some cheap ones on eBay, and they ride great, and I feel like they would probably wear great if the truck was aligned, but it wasn't. So here I am. I've got some new ones. I'll get them put on there, get them all mounted, balanced, and get the truck aligned again. But anyways, that's it for now. We'll have more updates on the OG as we get them. I know there's lots of speculation. There's another video out there where you guys seen what you feel like is us picking up a Proline Hemi, and I don't know, who knows, we may not have, whatever. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, thanks for watching the video, guys. Go ahead, click that subscribe button, like, comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, and we'll catch you on the next one.
You know what else rides great?
That
Those
damn
Nittos.
Ford. Oh, dude, hey, the Nittos are great.
Dude, you know how many people have been like, man, I heard about these
And they asked me how they ride, and I was like, literally, had just had them put on like 30 minutes before that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't really know, man. I mean, I've only driven it about 5 miles.
Yeah.
But they're pretty damn sweet. And it may not be the popular choice, but I took the 2-inch lowering or raising. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm used to
hey,
saying
we lower things.
We lower things,
Yeah.
which is what I did.
Yeah.
That had a 2-inch raise in the front.
Yeah, leveling kit or some shit.
Well, it's not level when you put a trailer on it.
No, not even.
Then it even sets more like this.
Yeah, even with
you know?
the airbags.
I like a little bit of squat, but
That was a little much.
no. So look how much better it looks.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I don't understand is those are the stock size tires that come with that deal, and the speedometer is about 5 miles an hour off now.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it was
Fast.
closer before.
Yeah,
So
those are small.
So I explained the reason that I'm actually even still rolling this video of did you see what I was looking at here?
No.
I figured that I was gonna have to call you because I was fixing to blow some tires out. So if you'll remember right, whenever I lowered this deal, I raised the front back up and then I never had it realigned.
I'm not sure that's alignment.
You don't think so?
It's on both sides. Like it's like this whole cap is coming off. Feel that.
Ah, well, they're cheap tires.
Dude, you need to put some good tires
No,
on
hey,
that
I know.
Holy
I need
shit.
Nitto to get the ones back in stock that I want.
Man, so you're just gonna put cheap ones on it till Nitto gets some, huh?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
And probably not pull a 26,000
But
pound trailer
damn.
again.
Yeah, hey, you're lucky you didn't just throw the whole tread.
Yeah, no, hey, I was waiting for it. I was like, I had the phone in my hand the whole time waiting to call you. Like, hey,
I'd have been like, man,
what are you going to do?
Good thing you only got one phone call. I'm not sure why you calling me.
Yep.
I'd have been like, man, what are you going to do? How are you going to get home?
Yep. So,
So-
but it made it. So,
Damn.
you know,
Well, it ain't taking that thing to Waco, is it?
I mean, you know, I'll put some front
No.
tires on it and roll.
No, you can take this.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, the only reason I didn't take that is the heat and AC wasn't working. And
It is now.
you know, I gotta have AC.
Monkey fixed that deal right up.
Yep. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that'll do it for this one. You know, we'll catch you on the next one, guys. It's coming soon.